Thank you, and it is thrilling to see this room full of climate activists from around the country. So, following on to Christopher's presentation, or we can't survive on this planet together. Unfortunately, that is such a true statement. So, what my experience in working on climate action has led me to, and through the opportunity to be an observer at some of the climate talks in Paris, in Morocco, and in Poland, I really tried to focus on what was the best method to bring people together to reduce greenhouse gases the quickest, most effectively, and still educate and inspire people to do more, to aspire higher. So, Rob. Now, when I mention the Paris Climate Agreement, there's a quote from John Kerry that I like to repeat, because a lot of people are like, what do we need a Paris Climate Agreement for? Okay, well, John Kerry said, you know, Paris Climate Agreement will not solve the climate crisis, but we cannot solve the climate crisis without it. So we need to know what's going on around the whole planet. We need people cooperating. We need people watching this agreement unfold. We need people diligent and paying attention so that it does not get abused. So what we have is a campaign that has evolved into Strengthen Local Climate Commitments, or SLIC. It's part of Create Climate Justice, which is something that Allie Tharp will tell you a lot more about. So, since all of us are here about the Green New Deal, let me just show you what 1,400 mayors across the country have already recommended and passed a resolution on. Okay, 1,400 mayors. Every mayor with a city of more than 30,000 has passed this resolution in Hawaii just in June. How many knew that are supporting a Green New Deal? What are the chances you live in one of those cities? And are you holding your mayors to it? You can. You have an open door to write an email, send a message, walk in and have a meeting with your mayor and say, hey, you guys passed this resolution. What are we doing in Springfield, Illinois, where you passed this resolution? So I just wanted you to see that. Of note, commends mayors for launching a Green New Deal that addresses the dual threats of climate change, income inequality, and calls upon state and federal governments to support these efforts on a national scale. Okay, second to that is a similar resolution for a national response to climate change. Establish a comprehensive national program to decarbonize the U.S. economy. So I just want to highlight that, because the point of SLIC, Strengthen Local Climate Commitments, is for every Unitarian congregation to partner with your other Unitarian congregations in your vicinity, with your Catholic congregations who have 800 congregations around the country that we are still in the Paris Climate Agreement, to partner with your mayor, to partner with your entire community, and find out what's happening and get them moving. Get your mayor to aspire higher, to accelerate and strengthen their climate commitments, because they have all committed to reducing their greenhouse gases from the 2005 level by 26 to 28% by 2025. Who's on track for that? So that's exactly what we're going to talk about. This is me. This is how you stay in touch with me. And by the way, all these slides are available on Create Climate Justice in the SLIC group. So, why do we want to strengthen local climate commitments? Why is that important? It's not being done at the federal level. All movements have to start from the ground up. One more. Why do we have to strengthen local climate commitments? All politics is local. Awesome, thanks. All right, why locally? All right, we touched on that. All right, how do we leverage and strengthen commitments locally? What do we do to make them stronger at the local level? Louder, please. Organize. Oh, yeah. Hold our leaders accountable. Oh, yeah. Get involved. Thank you. You have an open door to your mayor. You have an open door to hang out with CCL, with 350, with others, to pull together, to reach out to those communities that are standing for climate justice in your communities. Pull together and focus your attention on getting it done locally. So a little bit on the background. It all started with the Paris Pledge. It all ends with, you see the wheel on top that symbolizes the Sustainable Development Goals. You can think of those as the Green New Deal for the whole planet. Why is this so critical? All right, if you see this gray line, this is where mayors and our government has committed to be by 2025. This yellow line is where business as usual is going to take us. That's 17%. It's not 26%. This is where if we engage very, very intensely, we might get to 24% by 2025. We all know that none of those percentages come even close to where the globe needs to be to reduce in order to stay below 1.5 degrees, which, by the way, puts island nations underwater, which is unacceptable. So I've already shown you these slides from the mayors. By the way, there's about 20 others related to the environment. There's many more related to immigrant issues, and many, many more. And I will make that part of the information available to all the conference participants. I pointed out how the Sustainable Development Goals are essentially the Green New Deal for the whole planet. By the way, if you are on the mall this weekend, you will see this underneath the Washington Monument, 100 feet across. Please come down and say hello and be part of the movement. All right, so the goals of SLIC are to give every UU a way to engage. How hard is it to send an email to your mayor and say, hey, you made this commitment, how's it going? So it's also an opportunity to learn from other locations and find out how you can implement that. I use drawdowns as an example. Who's from California? Our California people. You have passed refrigerant management in your state law. Thank you. What's the number one item that is contributing to climate greenhouse gases? Lack of refrigerant management. Every state needs to implement what California, Washington, and what Vermont is about to do. I'm running out of time. I'm going to skip through my slides, but I will say that this entire presentation and more, much, much more, is available on Create Climate Justice, and all you have to do is search SLIC. So one last point, and that is, as you bring together your local communities, Say, for instance, we'll take North Carolina, Raleigh, Charleston, Asheville, et cetera. They build this movement within their communities, and then they're like, hey, our mayor told us we need this in our state, and we need this regulation, and we need this regulation. They're doing that in Massachusetts. Let's borrow from Massachusetts, get the state around that, and make it happen in North Carolina too. So all of this together, it's all of the networking. Gee, wouldn't it be nice if we had a system that helped us network? Oh yeah, create climatejustice.net. Thank you so much, everybody.
Okay.
Thank you for being here.